Very much. Good morning, everybody. How are we doing? We okay? Yeah, this is going to be an interactive session, so getting you to say like good morning is a good way to start. Morning, everybody. Good morning. Now we have to play the game of seeing if this works. Oh, it does. Perfect. And I've already gone too far. There we go. This is my group. I think I should very quickly introduce myself. And the aim for the next 30 minutes is I'm going to talk a little bit, first of all, about who we are and what we do. Then I'm going to do a demonstration with you guys about the VOCES8 method to actually get you involved so you can feel it a little bit. After that, we'll talk about the thinking behind it and why I wanted to write this book. And afterwards, hopefully, if there's time, we'll have about 5 minutes for some questions. Okay, so anything you can think of, feel free to ask me at the end. I started this group with my brother a few years ago. You can see I'm the one on this end. I'm the shortest. I'm sorry that we didn't bring all the... No beautiful sopranos here today, it's very sad, but you are stuck with me for the day. VOCES8 is an international touring a cappella group, so we spend about 6 months of every year on the road singing concerts. We sing music, everything from early Renaissance music through to jazz and pop, and pretty much everything in between. And occasionally we work with orchestras as well. And when we're not doing concert work, we have a wide-ranging education program. We work with about 25,000 students every year, a lot of programs in the UK, but also in America. We were out in Japan last year working out there, a lot in France and Germany as well. And wherever we go, we try to work on a variety of different levels. So sometimes it's working with 3, 4, 5-year-olds, sometimes it's working with college students, but always trying to get them to understand and to find new ways to express themselves through music. And from the moment we started VOCES8, there was always an idea that we wanted to spend this split time. So half our time is on tour, and the other half is in an education environment. Sometimes we do teacher training, but always there's a passion for engaging young people and trying to give something back. We were very lucky as we grew up. I think you just saw in that fabulous presentation by Laszlo, all those slides going through and the talk of the English choral tradition. 4 of us in the group were choristers at Westminster Abbey, and so my training started as a chorister when I was 9, and I've been singing really ever since. I actually spent a year as the student teacher at King's College, Cambridge as well, so that picture was a nice one to see. And in that slide you saw with those little choristers looking very nice, I realised I'd actually taught those choristers, so that was quite nice. So I feel with our group, we've been very lucky as we've grown up to have this opportunity to have great coaches, great teachers working with us, and our aim was to give that back. In the last 7 or 8 years, we've worked in so many different settings with over 100,000 students, and sometimes we work in a setting where there is fantastic music happening. You see inspirational teachers doing great work with passionate, engaged students. Other times, we find something missing. And really, the aim of the VOCES8 method was to explore why it might be that the music is not as well as happening as well as it should be in the school, and try and find a way to offer students and teachers a chance to engage in a very simple level with the sort of music making that can do all of those things that we just heard about in that lecture. I think we probably all sat there in that lecture just nodding about all of the wonderful points that were being made. So many valuable points, but actually what I wanted to do, and the reason that I'm so happy to be here today, is to share with you a practical response. So I'm not the researcher, I'm not the academic. My role, as I see it, is as a deliverer, as someone who goes and works with teachers, and it uses the skills that I've been given to engage people. So what I want to do today with you guys is just get you to join in a little bit. Is that going to be okay, or is it still too early? Have you had enough coffee? Are we sure? That's the first rule of any good music session. So all I need you to do, you don't have to stand up, but if you can put your bags down, if you're holding a bag, just relax. And very simply, there are going to be 4 instructions that you need to copy. This means stop, this means get louder, get quieter, and carry on. Is that fairly okay for you guys? Yeah, just about mastered those. Can I just ask a show of hands as well? How many of you are practicing musicians in some way? Yeah, I thought so. So what I'm going to do is very quickly take you through 2 or 3 different ideas from the book, and then we're going to talk about it. Normally, my sessions take days, so we're going to condense this a little bit. Can you see me at the back? Just about. Yeah, as I say, I'm quite short. I apologise. I normally have a guy next to me. The one in the middle, he's 6'5". He kind of amplifies everything I do. It's great. Human microphone. Right, so all you've got to do, 4 instructions, and otherwise copy me. Okay? 1. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Who can tell me what language that was? Anyone? Japanese. That's all I know in Japanese, by the way. So I'm done now. Great. Keep watching me and do this. And say for me 2, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 3. Very good. And now copy me. 1, 2, 3, 4. Very good. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Very good. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And keep that going. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Last time. And stop. Perfect. So now we're going to put some sounds to that. Say for me, dumb. Dumb T. And with the hands as well, dumb T quiche. Very good. Dumb T quiche T. Dumb T quiche T. Very good. It's like you're musicians or something. Now we're going to take out all the vowels. So instead of dumb, we're left with dum. Say for me, dum dum. Instead of T, we're left with t, t, t. Instead of quiche, we're left with ksh. And instead of T, we're left with t, t, t. So now it goes like this. Just copy me. Dum, ksh, dum. With me and dum, ksh, dum. Very good. Dum. Last time, one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, stop. Excellent. That is rhythm number 1. You can see probably where we're going with that. Rhythm number 2 is in 8 beats. Okay, so watch me. I'm going to clap. Just work out which numbers I'm clapping on. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I'm clapping on 1, 4, 7, 8. Perfect. With me after 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 3, 4, 5. One more time. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And stop. Perfect. That's the first half of rhythm number 2. The second half goes like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we're clapping on 3, 5, and 8. Can you say for me 3, 5, 8? 3, 5, 8. Good. Did you get all that right? Just about? Yeah. Here we go. So with me after 4. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Very good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and stop. Perfect. So we've now got 3 little rhythms, and we're going to start putting those together. Okay, so if you're on this side of the room, hi guys, you're team number 1. If you're on this side of the room, for now, you're team number 2. Okay, you guys over here, you're going to go dum, dum, and over here, you're going to start by doing 1, 4, 7, 8. Okay, we're going to start with these guys, then I'll come and bring you in. So just chill out, relax. It's going to be fine. Over here, starting with me, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Dum, dum. Very good. Keep that going. Here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's bring the volume up. Very good. And back down again. Very good. As quiet as you can be. 1, 2, 3, 4, and stop. Excellent. Perfect. Can we add in the third rhythm? Yes. So this half, front half, you're going to stay with dum tsh. Back half, you're going to be 3, 5, and 8. Over here, you guys are still going to be 1, 4, 7, 8. But we're going to go a bit quicker. Is that okay? Oh God, I see some. It's going to be fine. So we'll start again with dum tsh. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Over here. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's bring the volume up. Very good. 1, 2, 3, 4, and stop. Excellent. That's very, very good. We're going to take it one stage further, then we're going to talk about it because, you know, you'll have had far too much of me by then. So, we're going to start in the same places. So, over here, over here, 3, 5, 8. Over here, 1, 4, 7, 8. But when I say change, we're going to rotate. Okay? This is where it really gets our brain going. So, we're going to rotate this way. So 1, 4, 7, 8 starts here, then comes here, then goes there, and keeps going round. So goes that way, 3, 5, 8 goes that way. Everyone okay with that? So over here, you start with 1, 4, 7, 8, then you do 3, 5, 8, and then it keeps going. I may get lost. If I do, just do something. You got 3 rhythms, pick one. Okay, so we're going to start with again. Give us a beat. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's get the other 2 rhythms coming in together. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Very good. Let's bring the volume down. Excellent. Get ready. 1, 2, 3, 4, and change. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3. Very good. Get ready. 1, 2, 3, 4, and change. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Bring the volume up. Very good. 1, 2, 3, 4, and stop. Whew. Give yourselves a round of applause. That was very good. Sorry, you just missed the fun bit. Terribly unlucky. Or maybe the not fun bit. Who knows? That was a very quick demonstration of the first couple of stages of the book, which has a rather hideous picture of me on the front. I'm sorry about that. But I hope you've kind of begun... Sorry, these guys know me, so they're just laughing. It's good. The first couple of stages that we've just looked at there, I hope, got you thinking a bit. How are you feeling in terms of the brain? Are you a bit more woken up now? No. That's good. No, I still need coffee. But the idea really behind the method, and one of the key things that we're trying to engage with schools when we talk to them about it, is to show that the kind of activity that we do, it starts in a way that's not actually singing. And I'm standing here as a professional singer at a singing convention, and I'm talking about not singing. But actually, the type of activities that we've just done with you guys, we find to be very successful in engagement. And actually, what we've just done there, that was a very quick version, but you saw already that actually musically, what we've just achieved with the rhythms that we were layering up was very complex. It was actually lots of different ideas going around. We had 3 parts going on, and we find that actually it's easy with you guys. Obviously, I could get into 20 parts and it wouldn't be a problem. But when you go into a school, whether they're 5, 6, 7 years old, or whether they're teenagers, or whether they're at university, actually using an activity a bit like that, which gets them working together in rhythmic harmony, is a great way to open the door to singing. And one of the big problems that we're facing at the moment in the UK, and I think it's a universal problem, is the transition. How you take a student when they leave the equivalent of primary school and get them at 12, 13, 14, how do you keep them singing? There's such a great joy of singing at an early age, but as soon as we become self-conscious, aware of our environment, there's a natural fear. It was touched upon in the lecture by Laszlo. He talked about the personal nature of the voice and the fear that students have. But it's not just students, it's teachers. Teachers all over the country, in the UK and all across the world, as far as the ones we've met. As I said, some are wonderful. And many of you who work in schools or work with teachers will know there are some fantastic teachers out there. And what we tend to find is if there is a good teacher, a confident teacher, a teacher who is open to their own expression, that the students will follow. But the challenge is for the schools where they don't have those teachers. And in the UK at the moment, we're facing lots of challenges in terms of the place of music in the curriculum. The funding for music is always a challenge. There have been major transitions happening in the UK, and the idea of the book and the method is to try and harness ways that it can be very simple for a teacher who doesn't have confidence to learn and to open the gateway to making music. So this book we really see as kind of a portal. And the first exercise we just did with I mean, it's very simple. Getting sound making happening. So it's not singing, but it's using the voice to make sound. It's doing it in a community setting, so no one is singled out. And it's doing it in a way that actually, certainly a lot of boys, it was great to see all those videos, so many boys singing. That's a very important thing for us to see, and it's another big challenge. To find a way to get the boys making sound and to open the doorway for them. Just an action like this, which is actually using the left and the right hemisphere of the brain to get us working better in the morning. Did any of you find that tricky? Was that? I hope it was a bit tricky. It took me months to master that and then be able to talk at the same time. That says more about my musicianship, I think. But what it's actually doing is it's effectively a whole sequence of distractions for the students to get them to make music without realizing they're doing it. And then afterwards to say, hey, that was quite fun, wasn't it? Do you enjoy that? Oh, yeah, it was great. Amazingly, you've just been making music. And so we took those very simple 4 sounds, which just begin to sound a bit like beatboxing. And over the course of the book, you begin to build up these beatboxing ideas. And then the next thing we did was about thinking about a rhythm. And the rhythm we used is actually an African rhythm. If you stick it all together, it's the standard pattern. So it's da 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 da. But you speed up, over the year, you might get there. But actually, it works in this setting as something that's really good for getting the brain going. The next stage, if we had time to get to it, is beginning to introduce a little bit of Kadai, thinking about do, re, and starting to use just a few little notes. So we had do, re, ti, do, which we use just to get the students singing a little bit. But by that point, they're already doing 3 or 4 different ideas that actually take their mind from the fact they're starting to sing. And then in the 5th stage, we add in a little bit of harmony, but again, only 4 notes in total. So actually it works with small students, but it can also work with older students as a process of warming up. The whole point of the book is it's not designed to take the place of all the great songbooks that are out there. It's not designed to be competing with all of the great material that every country has, because that's all unique. And there's so much material out there. We didn't want to write something that was just another book of songs. We have songbooks out, that's fine. If people want to sing them, that's great. But the difference with this is it's a method that's actually about the brain, about the team, and about the gateway to music, rather than about teaching a song. So we're going to have some great sessions later, I'm sure, on how to learn songs. And we spend our life learning songs as a choir. That's what we do. But we wanted to do something before that. And so the whole purpose of this book is to give teachers who are not confident a way to very easily get into it. Just for example, we don't write any notes. So it's not written with musical notes, it's just with tables and little explanations, the odd keyboard. And then these wonderful things down here, QR codes. Has anyone come across those? They're fantastic. So that takes the teacher to a video of me pulling silly faces and showing them how to do what was on the page. So all of the ideas are based around trying to create a resource that can be used by anyone. And the simple aim for the book is to try and get a copy into every school. We don't want a choir to hold them. We want one person to have a copy and then for them to share the contents of the book, but to share it orally, like we've just done. Because actually, if you spent a term at school learning one rhythm a week and beginning to stick them together, you'd know half the contents of the book. And the idea of the book is it's supposed to take a year for a primary school to get through. Secondary schools have been doing it in the space of about a term. And the other interesting thing is you probably noticed we didn't use any words. And the only things we used were numbers, and I tried badly to translate those. But so actually, all the way through the book, there are no words. So it's a universal tool. It works in Japan, it works in, we've done it in America, France, Germany, the UK, obviously. It's being translated into Spanish. It actually works anywhere. And it's not trying to take the place of songs, it's trying to come before it. And hopefully to happen in a setting like this. Because the other thing we find that we're losing in the UK is this community. It was, again, talked about in that brilliant lecture by Laszlo. He talked about the idea of community. And we all know the benefits of the community singing, what you get from working together, the self-confidence, the motivation, the understanding of other people, so many different things that actually, in many schools we go to, they don't have assemblies anymore, and if they do, they don't sing. So actually, there's none of this community music making. So we've tried to create a tool which is non-religious, because different faiths have different approaches to singing. So we tried to create something that can be done by up to 8 different parts. It can be done in any setting with a 5-year-old or with a teenager, and it can be done in a way that the teacher finds it easy. And just some of the interesting, I'll give you 2 examples, and then maybe we have some questions. Has anyone got any questions, or do you want to just listen to me waffle on for a few more minutes? No? Okay, we'll see in a minute. A couple of examples where we found it's been quite useful. It's been great for primary school teachers. Primary school teachers, we do a lot of work training them about how to lead music. And they're using it in all sorts of different settings, sometimes in whole schools. We did a pilot project with 25 schools in Hackney, in the centre of London. It's a very tough area, if you know the UK. It's not an easy place, and some of the schools are achieving great things, but some need some support. So we ran training sessions for those teachers from the 25 schools, and they had to implement it over the course of the year. And the idea was to track the academic results, but also the classroom behaviour within the schools. And at the moment, the feedback we've had is only sort of anecdotal, but it's been very, very positive. The response to 2 of the really good things to hear have been that the students have been really attentive, really focused, and they found it's made them focus longer during the other sessions. But the other thing was actually the students who the teachers have helped to become the leaders. So the way we had 3 different groups going there, you bring a student out to lead each group, and actually the students who become the leaders are not the ones they would have expected. And that is a very interesting comment that we've had back. So really, from a primary school level, we found it very interesting. Secondary school, my favourite story of the year is we run a young leaders programme in Berkshire in the UK. And so once a month, I spend an hour with 12 to 15 students, and their training is not about music, it's about how to become a workshop leader. And at the end of the 6-month programme that we did, we had these teenagers, 15, 16, 17-year-olds, leading their whole school assembly in the VOCES8 method. And they've written to me and said this is, it's been a transformational experience for them, not because it's taught them anything amazingly musical, but because by the process of understanding some very simple musical ideas and learning how to lead those, they've been able to stand up and get 500 girls, teenage girls, singing and making music and working in 4 and 5 different parts. And that process for the students, for the school, but also for the ones who are doing the leading has been very powerful. So there's 2 of the areas we're really interested in. The last, I suppose the most important in a way, is the senior management teams. I don't know how many of you come across head teachers or senior management teams who maybe offer a little resistance now and then. The idea, again, behind this is all practical. As I say, what we've tried to write is a book that's a practical response that deals with the problems. The problems that we had were actually the music teacher might be really keen to do something, but she doesn't get given time, or he doesn't get given time by the senior management team. So all of the stuff in the book is actually their ideas that are based around a wonderful paper by Sue Hallam from the Institute of Education called The Power of Music, which I'm sure a number of you have read. And in her paper, she talks about the specific types of music making that have that transfer, again, that Laszlo talked about, the types of use of syllables, use of numbers. And so all of the things in the book, while they're actually world music rhythms and an introduction to world music, they're all based around brain gym, linking with the areas of music making that have been identified as having a quantifiable transfer effect into maths, literacy, and linguistics. Because we find if we can go into a school and say, do this music for 5 minutes a day, just 5 minutes, get your whole school together and do it, and actually, as well as having a great time, you'll see the kids sharper in lessons and much quicker in terms of, and better prepared. The idea is to get them better prepared at the start of a school day for maths, literacy, and linguistics. If you say that to a head teacher, they give it a go. If you say, some nice music, yeah, have a go. They're less, you know, some still love it, some see the value, but it's an argument that we can put forward that links them in to some great research that's been done, which if they want to, they can go and explore it further. And again, it acts as that gateway. So I think I've kind of probably talked enough, and I've got about 2 minutes left. Where's my monitor? There's a monitor here somewhere. I'm keeping a low profile. But to wrap it up simply, I hope by just feeling a little bit of what we've done there today with an African rhythm and some beatboxing, you can imagine how the process develops by the time you've added South American rhythms, pentatonic scales, some of our wonderful Kadai-inspired work. It can develop across the whole year, and while it's great for head teachers because they think it can actually have a benefit to the academic side of things, we know it's a great thing to get students together making music. We know it's a great thing to empower teenagers to find a way that they can connect and stand up and lead something on a musical level in front of their whole school. And we know it can be quite fun. And that's also important, to do something that's quite fun. The added benefit of the book is that by the end of it, you've had this introduction to world music. So you have students coming up and saying, oh, I really like that. Where's that from? Oh, can I find some more out about it? And that's what we're trying to achieve. Instead of thinking about the top-down solution of what we need to teach, thinking about the grassroots up. Get the students enjoying this kind of activity, and it will open their minds to other kinds of activity. It's that first opening of the door. That's the idea. And that's what I came to talk to you guys about today. Thank you for listening. Now, do any of you have any questions? We have like maybe 2 minutes left. If you have a question about anything.
In what language is the method translated into?
The method is currently in English and in German, and it's coming out in French in October, and I think Spanish potentially later in the year as well. But I'll have to speak to our publishers at Edition Peters, so they're working with me, and a representative is here in the room. So I should say Edition Peters published this book. It's really good. Any other questions? Yeah.
It's always hard to convince schools, but how do you convince music teachers? Because that's probably the most.
Well, actually, I find that the key to convincing a music teacher to do this is actually by showing them that really it's a set of warm-ups. So we do a lot of this stuff in a choir warm-up setting. You can use it in so many different ways, and we figure, actually, I mean, there's two different types. Convince the music teachers who are happy to do it, that tends to be quite easy. The ones who are less confident, we tend to spend a couple of hours with them. We do a training session, and at the end of it, we give them the book and a whole host of online resources. And I kind of have an open door policy as well to people writing to me. So I get emails from teachers sort of in the north of England saying, I did method book 1 this week and it's gone really well, but I don't know how to start number 2. So yeah, we try and sort of have an open policy to questions. But I think the training has been quite important. We do a 2-hour training session for any teachers who are going to use the book. And that training has been incredibly valuable, I think, in terms of what we're doing. And actually leads me on to one other thing. I ended up not using the slides because really they just showed more pictures of me, I think. But at the end of our slides, we've opened a new centre in London, and it's called, if I can get to it in a second, it's called the Gresham Centre. This was an old church in the centre of London. It's about 200 metres from St Paul's. If any of you are interested in maybe bringing a choir that you run or coming and spending some days with us, we opened last month. The website details are there. And the idea of this space, it's a beautiful Wren church. It seats about 250 people and it's a big square. And the idea is to make it a centre for vocal excellence, so that we have choirs coming from all over the world, we have teachers coming from all over the world, and we set up shared experiences. So in our first shared experience at the Gresham Centre, we had the Cincinnati Boy Choir, we're in the UK, and we paired them with 2 local schools from Tower Hamlets, right in the heart of the city. And they spent 2 hours together with a couple of our leaders, and they did a workshop together, and then they performed to each other. And we find, in terms of getting music into the right place in society, this kind of cultural experience is a great way for, again, opening those doors. So do check out the website. We're running, it's very new, we only opened last month, but we're going to be having all sorts of concerts, rehearsals, workshops, recordings happening there in the next couple of years. So if you have a choir that you want to bring along, just my business cards are just here. Do pick one up on the way out and write to me, because I'd love to hear from you. Any other questions? No, we're done. Thank you very much. Have a good day.